Hello, boys and girls. My name is Cory Bronger, and I was asked by a dear friend of mine to read you all a book. And I know that everybody's heard the story of the Three Little Pigs, but this is a different spin on that. This is a different perspective. This is the true story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you know a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf, but you can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault. Wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheep, and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing, it's all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. And this is the real story. Way back once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I had ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind builds a house out of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into somebody else's house, so I called out, "Little pig, little pig, little pig. Are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake when I felt my nose itch. I felt a sneeze come on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. And wouldn't you know, the whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of that pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been there the whole time. It seemed like such a shame to leave perfectly good ham dinner lying in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a cheeseburger lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. Now the neighbor, he was the first little pig's brother. He had built his house out of some sticks. I rang the bell of the stick house, but nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze come on. I huffed and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth. But I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell right in too, just like his brother's. And when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now you know food, it'll spoil if you leave it out. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have my cup of sugar for my dear granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the brother of the first and the second pig. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the house, and no answer. I called out, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what this rude little porker said? "Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again." How about impolite? Or talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold come on again. I huffed and I snuffed, and I sneezed once more. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I am usually a pretty calm fellow. But when somebody talks about my granny like that, I do get a little crazy. So when the cops drove up, of course I was trying to knock down the door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, well, as they say, is history. When the news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner, well, they figured a sick guy going for a borrowed cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story, added in the huffing and puffing and blowing the house down, and made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And that's the end of the real story of the Big Bad Wolf. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.